Captain Kira dances, her heart so full of bliss, in a world enchanted where love will always persist.
Chicken Dad, so proud and sweet, dancing to an old-time beat. Fluffy chick in cozy nest, with giant buns they do their best. Spin around in gentle grace, feathers flying all over the place. Chicken Dad and Chick obey, ballet moves come out to play. Twirling round the kitchen floor, laughter echoing, give them more. Big soft buns and pirouettes, best friends anyone could get. In the barnyard shadows gleam, Chicken Dad in a positive dream. Chicky laughs and Bun does bow, timeless dance in here and now. Morning light and evening fall, dancing feathers all for all. Through the day and through the night, ballet brings them pure delight. Spin around in gentle grace, feathers flying all over the place. Chicken Dad and Chick obey, ballet moves come out to play. Run wild and free. Through his thick lenses, he sees their broken dreams. Jake, Stephen, Weatherall, hard on every chord, sings the pains away. Music is his sword. Name through plastic frames, he fights the same old game. Cool and Molly's rage, text and fire. Floofy dog Lucy, never tire. Cooking storms, baker's flame. Giant Bunz in the game. Iron pumping, strength reveal. Pro wrestling, break and kneel. Cool and Molly's fury, bunnies hop. Waffle pound laughs, Lucy flops. Red hair demon, chaos spread. Floofy Lucy's joy, never rest. Cooking madness, ovens roar. Workouts burn, muscles soar. Lucy leaps, fur of might, baking wrath. Cookie fight, pro wrestling, power play. Metal storms, night and day. Waffle pounds, laughter, Steven screams loud. Red hair flares, never bowed. Floofy Lucy flops, spirits lift. Cooking heat, strength and get. Excess fury, bunnies dash. Wrestling chaos, bodies crash. Metallica's riffs, AJ Punk cry. Holy moly's fire, reach the sky. Red hair demon, chaos spread. Floofy Lucy's joy, never rest. Cooking madness, always roar. Workouts burn, muscles soar. Lucy leaps, fur of might, baking wrath. Cookie fight, pro wrestling, power play. Metal storms, night and day. Waffle pounds, laughter, Steven screams loud. Red hair flares, never bowed. Floofy Lucy flops, spirits lift. Cooking heat, strength and get. Texas fury, bunnies dash. Wrestling chaos, bodies crash. Metallica's riffs, AJ Punk cry. Hool and Holly's fire, reach the sky. Reach the sky.
Out in the yard when the moon is high. Oh yeah. There's a deer named Funky Bones. Don't be shy. He tiptoes softly, looking for a treat. Captain Kira's got apples good enough to eat. Oh yeah. Funky Bones with his groove, moving to the beat. Kira's got the apples, they're so sweet. Coming close, just a nibble. Don't be afraid. Look at them dance. It's a backyard rave. Funky Bones, Funky Bones. Don't you hide. Kira's got the apples open wide. Funky Bones, Funky Bones. It's a funky party, just you and me. Hey, hey. Under the stars, they share a little bite. Captain Kira and Funky Bones feeling right. With every step, the friendship grows. A funky connection, everybody knows. Now every night, when the moon is high, Kira's in the yard, Funky Bones kind of magic only they can share. Hey, funky bones, don't you bones, don't you hide. Oh yeah, Kira's got the apples open wide. Come in close, just a nibble, don't be afraid. No afraid, look at them dogs, funky bones, don't you hide. Oh yeah, Kira's got the apples. Funky bones, funky bones. Oh yeah, it's a funky party, just you and me. Hey, hey,
Under
Under the stars, they share a little bite. Yeah, Captain Kira and Funky Bones feeling right with every step. The friendship grows. A funky connection. Everybody knows now every night when the moon is high. Kira's in the yard, Funky Bones nearby. They share a moment in the cool night air. Funky kind of magic only they can share. Funky bones, don't you hide. Kira's got the apples open wide. Share a moment in the cool night air. Funky kind of magic only they can share.
Little gray munching on that hay, chewing, skipping, never stays. Backyard wild, gotta play, jumping, running every day. Grass is green under the sky, little gray lets it all fly. Muddy paws, you don't care why, wings of earth, he is so high. Freedom in his furry flight, sun and moon his only guide. No more walls, no cage inside, little gray so wild inside. Bossy grind, he's on the move, no one's rules, he's got his groove. Nature's beat, he feels the soothe, little gray always to prove. Under stars, under dreams, world ain't small, so it seems. Little gray's got big schemes, life rolls on in flowing streams. Hay for breakfast, sun for noon, stars and moonlight come so soon. Little gray under night's tune, backyard life's a wild cartoon.
Teeny scrappy rabbit on a naughty spree. Bananas from cat pits in Korea, quick to flee. Teasing sisters jumping wild and free. Leapfrogging over Posh spice, too stealthy for me. Cookie bags crumble, Teeny hears a call. Ears twitch, nose sniff, eats it all. Planters sitting, feeling 10 feet tall. Life's a grand adventure, loving it all. Tiny eyes glinting, always on the prowl.
pilfered, making her scowl. Teeny's got agility, swift as a howl. Cookie bags crumble, Teeny hears the call. Ears twitch, nose sniff, eats it all. Planter sitting, feeling 10 feet tall. Life's a grand adventure, loving it all. Few tons of playgrounds, Teeny roams at night, feasting on treasures hidden out of sight. Teasing Posh spice, leaving her in plight. Adventures in the moonlight, bunny delight. Captain's fast, but Teeny never slow, running through hay mangers, nimbly on tiptoe. Heart beats wild and on the show. Teeny's grand adventure, give her a toy. Cookie bags crumble, Teeny hears the call. Ears twitch, nose sniff, eats it all. Planter sitting, feeling 10 feet tall. Life's a grand adventure, loving it all. Few tons of playgrounds, Teeny roams at night, feasting on treasures hidden out of sight. Teasing Posh spice, leaving her in plight. Adventures in the moonlight, bunny delight. Captain's fast, but Teeny never slow, running through hay mangers, nimbly on tiptoe. Heart beats wild and on the show. Teeny's grand adventure, give her a toy. Give her a toy. Teeny's grand adventure, loving it all.
Dusty the rabbit, all covered in hay, building her nest like it's time to play. Big floppy ears and a mischievous twitch. In the yard, she's always digging a ditch. She sneaks through with a hop and a skip, eyes wide open, just looking for a trip. Suspicious, she is not denying that fact. Playful trickster, always up to some act. Dusty, Dusty, where have you been? Rolling in the hay, making everything green. Dusty, Dusty, always so sly, with your floppy ears reaching for the sky. She cuddles in the sun just for a snooze, dreaming about the way she can build a nest. Her fluffy tail wiggles when she's on the go. Naughty little Dusty, always stealing the show. She's a Flemish giant with a heart so bold. Every story about her just has to be told. Dusty the rabbit, always in the know, running in circles with a gleeful glow. Dusty, Dusty, where have you been? Rolling in the hay, making everything green. Dusty, Dusty, always so sly, with your floppy ears reaching for the sky. She's a Flemish giant with a heart so bold. Every story about her just has to be told. Dusty the rabbit, always in the know, running in circles with a gleeful glow. Dusty, Dusty, where have
She cuddles in the sun just for a snooze, dreaming about the ways she can build a nest. Her fluffy tail wiggles when she's on the go. Naughty little Dusty, always stealing the show.
Donkey the rabbit munching cookies all night. Sugar rush plays in a crazy delight. Nibbling faces in a frenzied haze. Friends confused in his cookie craze. He hops through chaos in the midnight dark. Cookies in his paws, leaving a sweet mark. Face is bitten with a playful bite. Donkey's world, a funny sight. Donkey the rabbit, sugar in his veins. Nibble on your face, crunching all remains. Cookies crumble, falling to the floor. Donkey want more, can't ignore. Chasing shadows under the moon's bright glare. Cookies his obsession like he don't care. Friends watch in shock as he takes a bite. Donkey's love for cookies just feels right. He grins, mischievous eyes so wild. The chaos around him driving friends mild. Cookies drop, crumbs scatter in the bush. Donkey's cookie craze never will hush. Bite mark stories on furry cheeks. Donkey the rabbit at his cookie peak. Friends band together, a loving chase. Donkey's cookie craze never will hush. Shingle face, nibble pace. Donkey the rabbit, but sugar in his veins. Nibble on your face, nibble on your face. Cookies crumb, big bugger falling to the floor. Donkey want more, can't ignore. Plans ignore. Donkey want more, can't ignore.
Cookie muncher, he can never get enough cookies. He never stops. Eat the cookie, he's a cookie king. Donkey the rabbit, the cookie muncher, he
named Kira, with beautiful brown locks and eyes that sparkle. Every day at twilight, she dances through the meadow with bunnies by her side as the sun starts to retire. One bunny turned to two, and two turned to a dozen. But Captain Kira's heart's forever filled with love. Her kingdom now enchanted, a ballet of soft footsteps, magical melodies carried on wings of a dove. Ballerina princess, her bunnies by your side, a twirl and a pirouette as dreams come alive. Captain Kira dances, her heart so full of bliss, in a world enchanted where love will always persist.
You guys, pro stream moment. Oh, I unmuted myself today. You guys, I am like, what are we, day 412 or something? I'm telling you, I am so absolutely pro that I know how to turn the volume on for my live stream. You guys. Oh my gosh, that's where the kitty tray was. Donkey had the kitty tray. Is that it? So you guys, take a look. Wait, is this who I think it is? Yeah. Did you see this girl here, Teeny? You know how she has a song about how she's very naughty all the time? That Teeny the rabbit is always being a rascal and up to no good and causing trouble and eating mommy's plants and jumping up to like high places. Well, folks, right as Teeny's song was playing in the intro music today, this is like so perfect. I was trying to just run a hairbrush through my hair. I was in the bathroom up here, and all of a sudden I hear crashing, and then I see bunnies outside the bath, right in front of my bathroom door where I'm standing. I see a rush of bunny rabbits run by in a panic, and I hear growling. Growling, folks, can only mean one thing, and that one thing is called you. Miss Ratfink, Miss Ratface, little teeny-eyed rat-faced girl rabbit. She broke out. She pushed the entire enclosure. She pushed it away from the wall. She just removed the enclosure. She's our tiniest rabbit. How in the world she how in the world she removed? She pushed this entire steel dog fence. So now I've got like this tub of food. Like I gotta figure something else out because she Dusty can do that kind of stuff too, but Dusty's our biggest rabbit. Although you guys, Sluggo got bigger recently. I think Sluggo may actually be our biggest rabbit right now. I don't know. I gotta weigh Sluggo. Sluggo looks he looks a lot bigger than Dusty today. So guys, how is everyone? I missed talking to you all live last night. I know you guys, I was chatting to you by text, but I totally miss you guys when I do not when I'm not talking to you guys. Does that make any sense? Like when it's not the normal stream, it's different and it's kind of weird, and I miss you guys. Now waiting the presence of the graceful Captain Kira, Queen of the Bunz, Hulenmal. The ballet season started today. I'm back in the ballet studios. That's so sweet that you said graceful, because I don't know how graceful I was, you guys. I took the entire summer off. I didn't do a thing. Did no ballet, not one class did I take. I've never done that in my entire life. Never have I taken the whole summer off. I just enjoyed myself, and I enjoyed the bunnies, and I enjoyed all you guys. What can I say? We got Hewley, we got Kristen Cheyenne, Star Triple R, Kristen Cheyenne, Star Ranch Dressing. She travels near, she travels far. We love Kristen Cheyenne, Star Triple R Ranch Dressing. I also saw Mr. Woody Woodland Loops, Mr. Woody Woodland Loops, Mr. Woody Woodland Loops. He's such a goof, and we love him all so much. Mr. Woody Woodland Loops, such a goof. A talented goof, I'll tell you that. So many buns, so little time. How can I choose? I don't choose this one. Mr. AJ Punxsutawney. Then you really want to say the Phil part. Punxsutawney wrestler. I don't know if that I don't know if that nickname works for him. How we doing, guys? Sorry for missing out on the streams. AJ Punk, it's okay. I was here last night, but it wasn't a real live stream because I was practically dead. It was like a dead stream. I didn't even turn my camera on. Like I just sat in the room and fed the bunnies and chatted with, like texted with you guys in the chat. Sluggo is a tank, and Sluggo and our two biggest bunnies, Sluggo and Dusty, are downstairs. I guess they don't realize. Yeah, Teeny, I knew you would be the one rabbit to try to knock my drink over. You do not need to be curious about that one iota. No, you do not. Even though I love you, but you are a stinker and a rat think stinker. Rat thinker. Sluggo got the muscle weight. Oh yeah, he do. He's a tank, but he's also like the most cuddly koala. Oh my gosh. Best of all possible worlds. He is like a bodybuilder. And you guys, you should feel Dusty. She is solid. You can feel the muscles on Dusty. It's so cool. Last night was fun on the stream. Oh, good. I mean, I did have fun with you guys. I was so glad that I could do something, but you guys, I had been at Jack and Stevens. I'd been like hanging out in their garage. Oh, not playing with, holding that sweet baby. Oh my gosh. Holding Willow Rose in my arms. Holding Willow Rose in my arms. I got to hold Jack and Cat, sweet baby girl. Holding Willow Rose in my arms. But yeah, I got to see that gorgeous baby. Now Teeny's being all cute. Look at this. Look at Teeny. She's like, I'm innocent. I would never break out and try to beat up Dusty, Sluggo, and Gwynnie all at one time. I would never do that. I'm very well behaved. I'm precious. School sucks. Yeah, you told me, you guys, Kristen Cheyenne Star confided in me today that she had a terrible day. And I felt terrible for her. And when you were messaging me, Kristen, I was listening to a really cool lecture about, Bessie Smith, all the Bessies who started out like the cool blues ladies from like the 20s. Yeah, I was listening to a friend of mine give an incredible talk about the history of rock and roll and blues, and yep, love that guy. He's really incredible talent and knowledge base in the whole world of music. He's a legend. Saturday night stream was enjoyable. Always a joy to have donkeys. Oh, I know. Donkey text to speech came back Saturday night. I was like, what the what? Like that was something. That was really inspiring. And then Crystal the K, Special K. I gotta think of a tune for I know I just did Crystal, Special K, Special K, Crystal, Special K. We love her all the live long day. She's Crystal with a K, Special K. Oh, the fam's coming back. There's Sluggo. We've been talking about you, big bruiser. We've been talking about you, gorgeous. It's Sluggy Pants. You guys, look at this boy. No, honey, you don't. That's not the way you get in. Oh, he's confused. Oh, now everyone's back. All right, we got dusters. But yeah, you guys, here, let's go over and see. Okay, I think I will close them in for the stream. Whoa! You guys, I totally spilled a relatively new bottle of cranberry concentrate that I was really excited to pour into my yerba because I love to put tart cherry and cranberry juice in there. I spilled almost the entire bottle all over myself, all over my refrigerator and the floor. So I did a very special thing, but look at how, okay, here's Dusty. She's always been the biggest and the heaviest. Yeah, 23 pounds of love right here. So there's Dusty. Oh, are you trying to get the juice off my dress? I know, I smell like fruit. But then we've got Sluggo. Maybe they'll like stand next to each other. Yeah, see, okay. Yeah, so here we've got Dusters, 23 pounds. But you guys, Sluggo's getting thick, which reminds me, Steven called me thick at the beginning of the stream. I thought I wasn't watching the stream. I had the audio on while I was driving back from their house. And I was like, did he just call me big? And then I rewatched the beginning of it today and I was like, oh, he called me thick. And I was like, oh my gosh. I don't think ballerinas are necessarily supposed to be thick, but you know what? That's what you get for sitting around all summer, Captain Kira, for 3 months doing nothing. Well, no, I wasn't doing nothing. I was doing a lot of physical activity, but it wasn't some running, but it wasn't ballet for sure. But anyway, how is everyone? What are people up to? What are people eating for dinner? Did you see what I put on the Discord? You mean the little dragon thing? I just saw that. I just looked at that like in the last hour. Kristen Cheyenne Star Triple R ranch dressing. I am on my search for Funky Bones currently. Oh, Woody Woodland Loops. I have news about that. Crystal, you love that song? Aw, bless your heart. Have you ever hit your head? Wait, have you ever hit your head off a metal pole? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Kristen, I'm so clumsy. I've done it all. Me want Sluggo and Teeny. I know. So when Teeny got out, she tried to kick everyone's giant buns. She went after Dusty, Sluggo, and she went after her daddy, Gwynnie. Who does she think she is? Like okay, AJ Punk. Teeny honestly has the personality of like a pro wrestler or something. Like she thinks that she can kick 3 large rabbits' booties, each rabbit being bigger than her by a lot. She thinks that she can take on 3 big giant bunzers as one of the tiniest giant buns. So what the heck? Where does she get this attitude? Huh? And Dusty kind of has that attitude a little bit, but Dusty is not as reckless as Teeny. Teeny has a screw loose. Teeny is a loose cannon. She's a loose, yeah. I don't know. He ran into a pole at school like three times. Wait, how did you get Kristen, how did you run into a pole 3 times? Boy. Kristen, did you post something new besides the dragon thing? Like, I'm trying to think, if I go to the Discord. Wait, I'll go to the Discord on this phone. Let me check. Oh, there's the support how to find my my flashlight that I had to be coached through. What was that was that Saturday night? Yeah, I think that was Saturday night. That was cute. Everyone was trying to help me. Wait a minute. That's weird. Wait, why is the normal? Where is money calls? No, where is? That's strange. Where's the rest of the Discord channel? Okay, I clearly don't know how to use this iPhone still. I give up. I seriously give up. You kept forgetting the poll was there? Oh, girl. Well, no wonder you had a bad day. Maybe you should ice your head where you hit it into the pole like that. You don't want to have a concussion, and if you do have a concussion, you gotta treat it. Put some ice on there, and I don't know what else you do for a concussion. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Concussions are hard because get it? Okay, sorry, I don't mean to joke about it, but they are. It's a hard thing to recover from because you bruise your brain, and there's not a lot you can do except maybe icing, and you have to rest. You really have to rest. Ooh, maybe you could take a day off from school because you got a concussion. I shouldn't say that. But yeah. Oh, Woody Woodland Loops. I know what I was going to tell you. You need help on that stupid. Yes, I do, and it is a stupid phone. I don't like it. I don't like the iPhone. You hear that, Giant Bunz producer? He gave me an old iPhone. He just gave it to me for free. That was very sweet. Very sweet for someone who is locked in my downstairs bathroom shower and is probably mad and wants to get out, but maybe that was like a bribe, so I would release him. But you know what? It's not my responsibility. He's Donkey's prisoner. I can't. You know what I mean? Like, you can't really release someone else's prisoner, can you? No, I don't want to. I don't want to challenge this guy. I don't want to challenge this boy here. No. But Woody Woodland Loops. I got to hang out with Funky Bones, and I just walked outside to take a glimpse of the outside, and the air is so nice. And I just happened to step outside on my deck, and I was like, "There's Funky Bones was just right in front of me." She was just actually, I think she'd been in my garden eating all my plants, but I went outside. You need to bubble wrap your head, is what you need to do. You're right, Crystal. Yeah. Oh my gosh. There are certain toddlers that should have bubble wrap around themselves, especially their heads, like those little baby toddlers that, like, the ones that they don't just learn to walk, they actually run. They actually just learn to run, and they just run into everything because they're like, "Oh, I'm walking, but I'm only 10 months old." Like those really early walkers, they are dangers. They are dangers to themselves, those poor creatures. They have, like, like the ring of bruises around their forehead. Oh gosh. I used to take care of triplets, guys. I had a boyfriend whose sister had triplets while we were together, so I took care of them from the time they were, like, literally came home from the hospital until they were like 3. Oh boy, they were something else. Um, I'm like a 1-year-old. Yes, you are, Kristen. But so Woody Woodland Loops, I go outside and there's Funky Bones. So I run inside, I cut up an apple. She didn't eat it out of my hand, but she almost did. Like I have video, I got video, and she came up really close. Like this is the most tame I've seen her since maybe the winter. Maybe it's been a long time. I think as soon as she had her babies, she didn't care about me. She was just like, I'm just going to protect my babies. And now her babies are getting a little bigger, you know. So I don't know. I don't know what the deal was. I couldn't see her babies in my yard, and I'd never. Usually they're right near her, so I don't know what the deal was. But anyway, she was really happy to see me, and then I brought her. I had a half a cucumber because I had put like half of it in my burritos that I made today. And oh my gosh, these guys are so cute when they yawn. But then I gave her half a cucumber and another whole apple. I have it all on video. It was really sweet. It was really chill. But I don't know why she is not quite as friendly as she used to be. But I will almost guarantee that the reason I haven't seen much of her is because she has those little babies. I think that's her focus, which is actually wonderful because that's what she should be focused on. You know, there's when fawns are little and tiny, domestic dogs can take down a fawn. The neighbors who used to live next door to me, they had these two golden retrievers. And you would think, oh, those are sweet dogs, right? Well, they brought down a little fawn one day. This was before I moved here, and they told me though, they're like, yeah, it was horrific, and it's like, yeah, and they let their dogs roam 24/7, and it was not good. People don't let your dogs roam. You know, maybe if you have a way to keep them on your property, that's fine. But like, oh my gosh, and keep them away from wildlife. You know, cats too. My friend who's a farmer, organic farmer, her cats killed so many baby bunnies, and finally she was like, I can't. And she would bring them to me. Most of them that were still alive, she'd bring them to me. I don't think I ever was able to save one baby rabbit that she brought. No, I never did. I probably had like 4 or 5. And finally she was like, I just can't take it anymore. It's not fair to the wildlife. And she keeps her cats in unless she's with them. And then I think all winter long it's fine because there's no baby animals and she lets them run around. But um is mayonnaise an instrument? SpongeBob. Oh gosh. I don't remember that. But you know what? I know the older SpongeBob, but I haven't seen there's a bunch of SpongeBob I definitely haven't seen because that show has been around for a minute. There's a lot of episodes, isn't that right? That right, Slugbug? Look at that big boy. Look, he is a big boy. He is just a beautiful boy. Here, wait, let's see. Let's get a little overview of Sluggy. He is just a large puppy. He's a puppy rabbit. Because I mean, look at him. Look at how wide Sluggy is, and then here's his papa. His papa is like more lanky and like slinky and slim, long and slim. And there's the kangaroo, Dusty the kangaroo rabbit. Ooh, and then we got cuties. We got Mama. We got her favorite, probably her favorite child, her little boy, Little Gray. And then we have our little beauty queen, Posh Spice. We have Jabba, who's just so much fun, such a big fur blob. And then Teeny, yeah, trying to find another way out, huh, Teeny? She is such a troublemaker. She really is. I better get my drink over there before Teeny finds it again. But yeah, I got to hang out with Funky Bones. That made my heart get filled with love. Kristen, no Patrick Mayonnaise is not Prestorian, our favorite giant Bunz historian. He's just come a driving all the way from Lothlorien, dressed as the Mandalorian, looking good in his DeLorean. Our giant Bunz historian. And he's singing along to Chance Gregorian with his beautiful voice, our fabulous Prestorian. And then when he gets home, he's gonna smooch his little girlfriend, who happens to be Salvadorian. And she's gonna make some Samorians for her beloved Prestorian. And after they have those crunchy, gooey s'mores, they're gonna get tired. And after they watch Giant Bunz, they're gonna fall asleep, and we'll all be with them, a snoring, with our fabulous Prestorian. There you go. That's from Band Geeks episode of SpongeBob where Squidward tries to put together a marching band to compete against his rival Squilliam. Okay, that sounds really funny. That's one of your fave episodes? Oh, I want to see that. That sounds really funny. Many consider it one of the greatest sponge. Oh, okay. Yep, I want to see that. Most deaf people. Okay, there's my drink. But yeah, so let's talk about food. Let's talk about food. I made some kind of pan fried in my big cast iron pan tofu with, oh my gosh, is that Teeny again? Wait, no, that's Delph. Oh my gosh, Delph, you look like you're dead. Delphi. They're so cute when they do that. But like earlier today, I was looking at the video feed when I was not home, and I saw, I think it was Sluggo was doing this. It was like curled up, his eyes were closed, super chill, but he just looked dead. And I was a bit scared for a second. I was like, he just looks so out. But they're so cute when they do this. We're just the snuggliest. Oh, Delph. Sweetheart. Jabba, look at you. She flows. When she lies down, her body like flows out to like whoopsie every edge. She can, you know what? You know how what do they say? Someone can fill a room. She can literally can fill a room. When she sits around the house, she sits around the house. See, Sluggo, Steven will call you thick. Oh yeah, but guys, it was fun. I got to hang out with Jack, Steven, Bree, Kat. I could totally hang out with Kat and Bree, you guys. I could just we could just be buds. They're very cool. They're extremely cool. I've known Jack for years. Steven really not so much, but Kat and Bree, yeah. They cool. They very cool. You had macaroni salad with mayo and pickles. Ooh, that you know what? That actually sounds decent. I'm not the biggest mayo fan, but it does have its place as long as there's not too much. Mama Delph all snuggled. Oh my gosh, she is just like she is super chill. Look at her, she got her little paws out. She's like, "Are you talking about me?" Yeah, we're talking about you, baby girl. Oh, yeah, she's just a love bun. She's just a love bug with her little boy. Oh my gosh, they're just being so precious. And look, Teeny's being chill. Wow, buns to buns. Well, Delph, I hope you're okay. You just seem, I mean, like, I don't know. Teeny did this earlier. I guess they're just tired. And the sun, you know what? I think that they are very in tune with nature because the sun is setting, you know. Look, I mean, it's like that gorgeous time of day. It's starting to get dark out here in the woods and oh, wait a minute. I think Funky's out in the field across there. Wait, guys, should we go see Funky? One of the oldest Yo Mama jokes. Yo Mama's so big. When she sits around the house, she sits around the house. True. That, like, gosh, I haven't heard that one in a long time. You are right. That is an old joke. Should we go try to see Funky? I think that's her out there. I don't know for sure. Oh my gosh, you guys. I hope the colors. Can you see the colors of the sky over there? That sounds like a song. The colors of the sky. So pretty, all in pink. I hope I can. Oh, there's my girl. Funky Bones. Hi, baby. Did you get an apple, Funky Bones? Oh, you guys, she's coming up. Oh, you guys, Funky's coming up to me. Oh, I don't have any apple though. Oh, baby girl. Hi. Funky, do you want me to get an apple? Do you want me to get you another apple, baby girl? Here, I will get you an apple. Do you want to hang out, Funky? Do you want to hang out with the chat? Do you want me to? I can leave my phone out here. I think I can. All right, you know what, baby? I'm gonna get you an apple. You just hang right here. Whoops. Oh boy, I don't know how to swap my phone up out here. Okay, I think that did the job. Okay, Funky, hang on. I'm gonna get you an apple, girl. Hang on. All right, Funky, I got your apple. Are you still there? Funky, here she is. Okay. Funky Bones, I have another apple for you. Oops. Where's this fence gonna go? Oh wait, it's supposed to go that way. There we go. No, oh, don't run off. Don't run off. That was just, oh girl. She just got scared because I opened the fence. Let's see. Let's see if I can get her to come back. Funky, I got your apple. Funky, apple. What causes rabbits to come back down after popping G-rabbity? Oh my gosh, Kristen, did you just make that up? It's actually really creative. Oh man, okay, I have to leave the chat phone here for a second. Funky, I've got your apple. Come here. Funky, where did you go? Apple time. I think I scared her. I've got your apple. Well, guys, she may have gone, well, you know what? Her babies are probably back here. But I hope to get the Giant Buns producer, I hope will send me. He actually made the video of Funky Bones because we were on a call and I just happened to like walk outside and I was like, oh my gosh. And so he got it all on video. So hopefully he can get that footage and maybe he'll make like a YouTube short or something out of, or like a full length video because it went on for like 15-20 minutes. Oh well. You are a wild creature, Funky Bones. I think without babies, if she didn't have those babies, I think she would definitely be coming right up to me. It's okay though. Okay, I've got the chat back. Let me see what's been going on. Why did the female... Wait, where do rabbits learn to ski? On a bunny hill? Okay, that's really cute. Why did the female rabbit get a job? Message retracted? Well, now I don't know the answer. You're back? AJ Punk in the house. Why did the rabbit refuse to enter the computer lab? Because he was afraid of the bite. That's pretty good. Pretty good. All right, guys, let us get back to, I think we are on chapter 4 of 1984. I kind of would like to catch up on that and read one chapter. I like having the same book to read every night. You know, I like that ritual, and I'm liking the book. And I had read it a long time ago, but I totally don't remember what's going to happen next. Like no idea. All right. What? That was fun to spot her. I just spot her randomly out the window. Oh, Delphi got up. Okay. Let's see. Where should we go? Should we see these? Should we read with these guys for a little bit? Dusty, would you like to be read to? Reading to rabbits. Reading with rabbits. With Dusty Girl Rabbit. And Sluggy Pants. Oh, Donkers, you can listen too. Mr. Bundonkadonk. Look at that big boy. He's just such a plushie. You're my koala face plushie. I love ya. Yes, koala bear boy. Whoops, see, Donkey's just gonna move stuff around, and then we've got our kangaroo. Oh, he's doing uppers. Okay, let's see here. So, what's going on in the chat? The answer to why did the female rabbit get a job is to make some dough. Oh, that's cute. Yeah, I forget they are technically called doughs. Thank you for that. 1984. Wait. Yeah, 1984. What did one rabbit say to the magician? Quit pulling my relatives out of hats. Oh, this is. Hey, you would fit in great with like my family's Zoom calls, Kristen, because it's basically a competition of like who has more, joke, who has the better joke, who has more jokes. Some of the jokes are very silly. Some can be funny. But yeah. And then there's usually some like singing. There's usually singing, and you never know what's going to happen on our weirdo family Zoom calls. But let me, I'm going to pop on over to, oh yeah, that's where it was. Chapter 4. Whoop! And I just dropped it. Okay. Oh, wait, actually, that makes the print bigger. Okay, I like that. With the deep unconscious sigh, which not even the nearness of the telescreen could prevent him from uttering when his day's work started, Winston pulled the speakwrite towards him, blew the dust from its mouthpiece, and put on his spectacles. Then he unrolled and clipped together 4 small cylinders of paper, which had already flopped out of the pneumatic tube on the right-hand side of his desk. In the walls of the cubicle, there were 3 orifices. To the right of the speakwrite, a small pneumatic tube for written messages. To the left, a larger one for newspapers, and in the sidewall, within easy reach of Winston's arm, a large oblong slit protected by a wire grating. This last was for the disposal of waste paper. Similar slits existed in thousands or tens of thousands throughout the building, not only in every room, but at short intervals in every corridor. For some reason, they were nicknamed memory holes. When one knew that any document was due for destruction, or even when one saw a scrap of waste paper lying about, it was an automatic action to lift the flap of the nearest memory hole and drop it in, whereupon it would be whirled away on a current of warm air to the enormous furnaces which were hidden somewhere in the recesses of the building. Winston examined the 4 slips of paper which he had unrolled. Each contained a message of only 1 or 2 lines in the abbreviated jargon, not actually news speak, but consisting largely of newspeak words, which was used in the ministry for internal purposes. They ran Times 17.3.84 BB speech malreported Africa rectified. Times 1912-83 forecasts 3 YP fourth quarter 83 misprints verify. Current issue. Times 14.2.84 Mini Plenty mal-quoted chocolate rectify. Times 3/12/83 reporting BB day order double plus ungood refs unpersons rewrite fullwise upsub anti-filing. With a faint feeling of satisfaction, Winston laid the fourth message aside. It was an intricate and responsible job and had better be dealt with last. The other three were routine matters, though the second one would probably mean some tedious wading through lists of figures. Winston dialed back numbers on the telescreen and called for the appropriate issues of the Times, which slid out of the pneumatic tube after only a minute's delay. The messages he had received referred to articles or news items which, for one reason or another, it was thought necessary to alter, or, as the official phrase had it, to rectify. Ooh, changing the news, huh? To fit one's agenda, that's what I'm assuming. For example, it appeared from the Times of the 17th of March that Big Brother, in his speech of the previous day, had predicted that the South Indian Front would remain quiet, but that a Eurasian offensive would shortly be launched in North Africa. As it happened, the Eurasian Higher Command had launched its offensive in South India and left North Africa alone. It was therefore necessary to rewrite a paragraph of Big Brother's speech in such a way as to make him predict the thing that had actually happened. Oh boy. Or again, the Times of the 19th of December had published the official forecasts of the output of various classes of consumption goods in the fourth quarter of 1983, which was also the sixth quarter of the ninth three-year plan. Today's issue contained a statement of the actual output, from which it appeared that the forecasts were in every instance grossly wrong. Winston's job was to rectify the original figures by making them agree with the later ones. As for the third message, it referred to a very simple error which could be set right in a couple of minutes. As short a time ago as February, the Ministry of Plenty had issued a promise, a categorical pledge, were the official words, that there would be no reduction of the chocolate ration during 1984. Actually, as Winston was aware, the chocolate ration was to be reduced from 30 grams to 20 at the end of the present week. All that was needed was to substitute for the original promise a warning that it would probably be necessary to reduce the ration at some time in April. As soon as Winston had dealt with each of the messages, he clipped his speak-written corrections to the appropriate copy of the Times and pushed them into the pneumatic tube. Then, with a movement which was as nearly as possible unconscious, he crumpled up the original message and any notes that he himself had made and dropped them into the memory hole to be devoured by the flames. What happened in the unseen labyrinth to which the pneumatic tubes led, He did not know in detail, but he did know in general terms. As soon as all the corrections which happened to be necessary in any particular number of the times had been assembled and collated, that number would be reprinted, the original copy destroyed, and the corrected copy placed on the files in its stead. The process of continuous alteration was applied not only to newspapers, but to books, periodicals, pamphlets, posters, leaflets, films, soundtracks, cartoons, photographs, to every kind of literature or documentation which might conceivably hold any political or ideological significance. Day by day and almost minute by minute, the past was brought up to date. In this way, every prediction made by the party could be shown by documentary evidence to have been correct. Nor was any item of news or any expression of opinion which conflicted with the needs of the moment ever allowed to remain on record. All history was a I don't know this word. All history was a palimpsest, scraped clean and reinscribed exactly as often as was necessary. In no case would it have been possible, once the deed was done, to prove that any falsification had taken place. The largest section of the records department, far larger than the one on which Winston worked, consisted simply of persons whose duty it was to track down and collect all copies of books, newspapers, and other documents which had been superseded and were due for destruction. A number of the times which might, because of changes in political alignment or mistaken prophecies uttered by Big Brother, have been rewritten a dozen times, still stood on the files bearing its original date, and no other copy existed to contradict it. Books also were recalled and rewritten again and again, and were invariably reissued without any admission that any alteration had been made. Even the written instructions which Winston received, and which he invariably got rid of as soon as he had dealt with them, never stated or implied that any act of forgery was to be committed. Always the reference was to slips, errors, misprints, or misquotations which it was necessary to put right in the interests of accuracy. But actually, he thought as he readjusted the Ministry of Plenty's figures, it was not even forgery. It was merely the substitution of one piece of nonsense for another. Most of the material that you were dealing with had no connection with anything in the real world, not even the kind of connection that is contained in a direct lie. Statistics were just as much a fantasy in their original version as in their rectified version. A great deal of the time you were expected to make them up out of your head. For example, the Ministry of Plenty's forecast had estimated the output of boots for the quarter of 145 million pairs. The actual output was given as 62 millions. Winston, however, in rewriting the forecast, marked the figure down to 57 millions so as to allow for the usual claim that the quota had been over-fulfilled. In any case, 62 millions was no nearer the truth than 57 millions or than 145 millions. Very likely, no boots had been produced at all. Likelier still, nobody knew how many had been produced, much less cared. All one knew was that every quarter, astronomical numbers of boots were produced on paper, while perhaps half the population of Oceania went barefoot. And so it was with every class of recorded fact, great or small. Everything faded away into a shadow world in which, finally, even the date of the year had become uncertain. Winston glanced across the hall. In the corresponding cubicle on the other side, a small, precise-looking, dark-chinned man named Tillotson was working steadily away with a folded newspaper on his knee and his mouth very close to the mouthpiece of the speakwrite. He had the air of trying to keep what he was saying a secret between himself and the telescreen. He looked up and his spectacles darted a hostile flash in Winston's direction. Winston hardly knew Tillotson and had no idea what work he was employed on. People in the records department did not readily talk about their jobs. In the long windowless hall, with its double row of cubicles and its endless rustle of papers and hum of voices murmuring into speakrites, there were quite a dozen people whom Winston did not even know by name, though he daily saw them hurrying to and fro in the corridors or gesticulating in the 2 minutes hate. He knew that in the cubicle next to him, the little woman with sandy hair toiled day in, day out, simply at tracking down and deleting from the press the names of people who had been vaporized and were therefore considered never to have existed. There was a certain fitness in this, since her own husband had been vaporized a couple of years earlier, and a few cubicles away, a mild, ineffectual, dreamy creature named Ampleforth, with very hairy ears and a surprising talent for juggling with rhymes and meters, was engaged in producing garbled versions, definitive texts they were called, of poems, which had become ideologically offensive, but which for one reason or another were to be retained in the anthologies. And this hall, with its 50 workers or thereabouts, was only one subsection, a single cell, as it were, in the huge complexity of the records department. Beyond, above, below were other swarms of workers engaged in an unimaginable multitude of jobs. There were the huge printing shops with their sub-editors, their typography experts, and their elaborately equipped studios for the faking of photographs. There was the teleprogram section with its engineers, its producers, and its teams of actors specially chosen for their skill in imitating voices. There were the armies of reference clerks, whose job was simply to draw up lists of books and periodicals which were due for recall. There were the vast repositories where the corrected documents were stored, and the hidden furnaces where the original copies were destroyed. And somewhere or other, quite anonymous, there were the directing brains who coordinated the whole effort and laid down the lines of policy which made it necessary that this fragment of the past should be preserved, that one falsified and the other rubbed out of existence. And the records department, after all, was itself only a single branch of the Ministry of Truth, whose primary job was not to reconstruct the past, but to supply the citizens of Oceania with newspapers, films, textbooks, telescreen programs, plays, novels, with every conceivable kind of information, instruction, or entertainment, from a statue to a slogan, from a lyric poem to a biological treatise, and from a child's spelling book to a new speak dictionary. And the ministry had not only to supply the multifarious needs of the party, but also to repeat the whole operation at a lower level for the benefit of the proletariat. There was a whole chain of separate departments dealing with proletarian literature, music, drama, and entertainment generally. Here were produced rubbishy newspapers containing almost nothing except sport, crime, and astrology, sensational 5-cent novelettes, films oozing with sex, and sentimental songs, which were composed entirely by mechanical means on a special kind of kaleidoscope known as a versificator. Versificator. That sounds like AI music, guys. You know something about that. There was even a whole subsection, pornosec. It was called in Newspeak. Look at this guy. Look at this flopper. engaged in producing the lowest kind of pornography, which was sent out in sealed packets and which no party member, other than those who worked on it, was permitted to look at. Creepy. 3 messages had slid out of the pneumatic tube while Winston was working, but they were simple matters, and he had disposed of them before the 2 minutes hate interrupted him. When the hate was over, he returned to his cubicle, took the Newspeak dictionary from the shelf, pushed the speakwrite to one side, cleaned his spectacles, and settled down to his main job of the morning. Winston's greatest pleasure in life was in his work. Most of it was a tedious routine, but included in it there were also jobs so difficult and intricate that you could lose yourself. Whoops. Oh gosh. Okay. You could lose yourself in them, as in the depths of a mathematical problem. Delicate pieces of forgery in which you had nothing to guide you, except your knowledge of the principles of Ingersoll and your estimate of what the party wanted you to say. Winston was good at that kind of thing. On occasion, he had even been entrusted with the rectification of the Times' leading articles, which were written entirely in newspeak. He unrolled the message that he had set aside earlier. It ran, Times 3/12/83, reporting BB day order, double plus ungood refs, unpersons, rewrite, full wise, up sub, anti-filing. In Old Speak or Standard English, this might be rendered, the reporting of Big Brother's order for the day in the Times of December 3rd, 1983, is extremely unsatisfactory and makes references to non-existent persons. Rewrite it in full and submit your draft to higher authority before filing. Winston read through the offending article. Big Brother's order for the day, it seemed, had been chiefly devoted to praising the work of an organization known as FFCC, which supplied cigarettes and other comforts to the sailors in the floating fortresses. A certain comrade Withers, a prominent member of the inner party, had been singled out for special mention and awarded a decoration, the Order of Conspicuous Merit, second class. 3 months later, FFCC had suddenly been dissolved with no reasons given. One could assume that Withers and his associates were now in disgrace, but there had been no report of the matter in the press or on the telescreen. That was to be expected, since it was unusual for political offenders to be put on trial or even publicly denounced. The great purges involving thousands of people with public trials or traitors and thought criminals who made abject confession of their crimes and were afterwards executed were special showpieces not occurring oftener than once in a couple of years. More commonly, people who had incurred the displeasure of the party simply disappeared and were never heard of again. One never had the smallest clue as to what had happened to them. In some cases, they might not even be dead. Perhaps 30 people, personally known to Winston, not counting his parents, had disappeared at one time or another. Winston stroked his nose gently with a paperclip. In the cubicle across the way, Comrade Tillotson was still crouching secretively over his speakwrite. He raised his head for a moment. Again, the hostile spectacle flash. Winston wondered whether Comrade Tillotson was engaged on the same job as himself. It was perfectly possible. So tricky a piece of work would never be entrusted to a single person. On the other hand, to turn it over to a committee would be to admit openly that an act of fabrication was taking place. Very likely, as many as a dozen people were now working away on rival versions of what Big Brother had actually said. And presently, some master brain in the inner party would select this version or that, would re-edit it, and set in motion the complex processes of cross referencing that would be required. And then the chosen lie would pass into the permanent records and become truth. Winston did not know why Withers had been disgraced. Perhaps it was for corruption or incompetence. Perhaps Big Brother was merely getting rid of a too popular subordinate. Perhaps Withers or someone close to him had been suspected of heretical tendencies, or perhaps, what was likeliest of all, the thing had simply happened because purges and vaporizations were a necessary part of the mechanics of government. The only real clue lay in the words, refs unpersons, which indicated that Withers was already dead. You could not invariably assume that this to be the case when people were arrested. Sometimes they were released and allowed to remain at liberty for as much as a year or 2 years before being executed. Very occasionally, some person whom you had believed dead long since would make a ghostly reappearance at some public trial where he would implicate hundreds of others by his testimony before vanishing, this time forever. Withers, however, was already an unperson. He did not exist. He had never existed. Winston decided that it would not be enough to simply to reverse the tendency of Big Brother's speech. It was better to make it deal with something totally unconnected with its original subject. He might turn the speech into the usual denunciation of traitors and thought criminals, but that was a little too obvious. While to invent a victory at the front or some triumph over production in the 9th 3-year plan might complicate the records too much. What was needed was a piece of pure fantasy. Suddenly there sprang into his mind, ready-made as it were, the image of a certain Comrade Ogilvy who had recently died in battle in heroic circumstances. There were occasions when Big Brother devoted his order for the day to commemorating some humble rank-and-file party member whose life and death he held up as an example worthy to be followed. Today he would commemorate Comrade Ogilvy. It was true that there was no such person as Comrade Ogilvy, but a few lines of print and a couple of faked photographs would soon bring him into existence. Winston thought for a moment, then pulled the speakwrite towards him and began dictating in Big Brother's familiar style, a style at once military and pedantic, and because of a trick of asking questions and then promptly answering them. What lessons do we learn from this fact, comrades? The lesson, which is also one of the fundamental principles of ingsoc, that, etc., easy to imitate. At the age of 3, Comrade Ogilvy had refused all toys except a drum, a submachine gun, and model helicopter. At 6, a year early, by a special relaxation of the rules, he had joined the spies. At 9, he had been a troop leader. At 11, he had denounced his uncle to the thought police after overhearing a conversation which appeared to him to have criminal tendencies. At 17, he had been a district organizer of the Junior Anti-Sex League. At 19, he had designed a hand grenade which had been adopted by the Ministry of Peace and which, at its first trial, had killed 31 Eurasian prisoners in one burst. At 23, he had perished in action, pursued by enemy jet planes while flying over the Indian Ocean with important dispatches. He had weighted his body with his machine gun, leapt out of the helicopter into deep water, dispatches and all, an end, said Big Brother, which it was impossible to contemplate without feelings of envy. Big Brother added a few remarks on the purity and single-mindedness of Comrade Ogilvy's life. He was a total abstainer and a non-smoker, and had no recreations except a daily hour in the gymnasium, and had taken a vow of celibacy, believing marriage and the care of a family to be incompatible with a 24-hour-a-day devotion to duty. He had no subjects of conversation except the principles of Ingsoc, and no aim in life except the defeat of the Eurasian enemy and the hunting down of spies, saboteurs, thought criminals, and traitors generally. Winston debated with himself whether to award Comrade Ogilvy the Order of Conspicuous Merit. In the end, he decided against it because of the unnecessary cross-referencing that it would entail. Once again, he glanced at his rival in the opposite cubicle. Something seemed to tell him with certainty that Tillotson was busy on the same job as himself. There was no way of knowing whose job would finally be adopted, but he felt a profound conviction that it would be his own. Comrade Ogilvy, unimagined an hour ago, was now a fact. It struck him as curious that you could create dead men but not living ones. Comrade Ogilvy, who had never existed in the present, now existed in the past, and when once the act of forgery was forgotten, he would exist just as authentically and upon the same evidence as Charlemagne or Julius Caesar. Wow. That's the end of chapter 4, folks. What do we think? Oop, I need to get YouTube back. How do I use this phone? Oh boy. I'm trying. How do I get out of Safari? There we go. YouTube. YouTube. I want YouTube. Yes, open. Hello. Oh my gosh. You guys, I can't get back to YouTube. What the heck? Oh, well, for one thing, the phone was upside down. Okay. Oops. Banana, Mr. Wee's banana. Banana, Mr. Wee's banana. Banana, Mr. Wee's banana. Banana, 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 Mr. Wee's banana. Yeah. Yes, we have had story time. Why didn't Scarecrow win an award? Because he was outstanding in his field. Oh, that's pretty good. I gotta tell my dad that one. Why were the presents late to the Christmas party? Because they were all wrapped up. Okay, don't forget to like the stream if you haven't already. Thank you, my darling. Why did the rabbit sit in front of the mirror with a notebook? Because he wanted to take hair notes. Oh boy. Yeah, how you doing, Mr. Wee's Banana? How goes it, Captain Korea? It goes awesome, Wes, because I started ballet, but what's not awesome is that I probably won't be able to walk tomorrow by like tomorrow night, possibly tomorrow morning, because I took 3 months off of ballet, which I've never done in my life. I don't think I have. And that was dumb because all those feet muscles and all those calf muscles and all that stuff is really specific and you got to be super strong. And I'm not right now. I mean, I was running this summer a fair amount. I was running up and down the stairs with big fluffy buns and heavy litter boxes. I did a lot of, we had to redo the whole room and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, ballet season started up again today, and my like early morning schedule, like all that schedule that I have when it's not summer, I'm back to today. So that happened today. How goes it with you, Mr. Wee's Banana? But yeah, how do you guys like 1984? I think it's very, very interesting to read with Donald Trump in the presidency. I think it's very interesting to read in this day and age with AI and Photoshop and oh geez, so interesting to me. And oh, Alexa and Siri and all these things that can listen in on us and cameras everywhere and tracking us digitally and it's very interesting. Very interesting. No walking, maybe you need a walking stick. I am just tired, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I will be able to walk, but it's just I'm gonna be in basically I'm just gonna be super sore. I'm just gonna be super sore. But the person who I get to hang out with for ballet now, who's my teacher, is one of my favorite people. I love her so much. And she actually has a boy bunny rabbit. And we got to talk a lot about her boy bunny and um yeah, maybe we'll have her boy bunny rabbit on the stream sometime. I told her that if she ever needs a bunny babysitter, that we'd be happy to have him over and let him. Well, he's not. One thing I found out is he's not neutered, so he could play with the boys if he got along with them. But because the girls cannot go under anesthesia because it kills them, my girls cannot be put under. They cannot get spayed. And so all of them, oh my gosh, my legs are like falling asleep. They can all get preggers. They can all get preggy poos. So I think, and her rabbit sounds really beautiful, this boy bunny. And I believe she rescued her rabbit from a farm where I think that they were being bred for meat, possibly kind of like these guys. So very interesting. I'd love to. I've never even met her bunny, but donkey waiting for cookie. Oh, Big Brother is definitely watching. Crystal, I'm right. I mean, someone referenced the book 1984 recently. I cannot remember who it was. It might have been my good friend that I stayed with in Chicago in the spring because she is extremely well read. She's absolutely brilliant. She's always keeping up with what's going on in the world everywhere, and especially here right now with the Trump presidency, the Trumpacy, and but that book, 1984. My gosh, George Orwell, he knew a thing or two. He like prophesized all this stuff, and with tech, aside from political stuff and what's happening in our country right now, just specifically our country, I mean, technology has taken us to a very different, a very different lifestyle. And 1984 really, where are the cookies that I already opened? Oh, hey, they're not up here. I guess put those downstairs. But yeah, it's just fascinating to me. It's fun. It's fun to like go back to a book that was written before all this crazy technological explosion has happened in our world. And the book, oh boy, oh boy, oh my gosh. Okay, calm down. Oh wow, wow, wow. Okay, I can't. I gotta put this. I gotta put this phone down. Oh boy. Oh wow, wow, wow. Donkers, you want to be the first to get the cookie? Donkey, one more. Hushy. Okay, who's next? Little Gray. Teeny. Oh, she got two. She took two stacks from my fingers. Delph. Mama. Delphie. Oh gosh, she's stealing her son's cookie. Oh well. We got Gwynnie, Dusty. Sluggy, come here. Sluggy. 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 Dum dum. Oh boy. And then there goes the other phone. Delph, you're standing on your cookie, Delph. Can you find it? I think she can smell it. Uh-oh, your son's getting the cookie. Your son is getting your cookie. Oh, look at, she's like, no, I'm going to have some of that cookie. She's like, we will share this cookie. Oh my gosh, it's 8:23, you guys. The thought police won't let us say certain words and phrases on social media. Yeah, yep. You know, even I can choose. I haven't done so, but I could, on my YouTube channel, I could earmark certain words that I don't want said in the chat. And I haven't done, I don't do stuff like that, you know. I mean, if I don't know if someone was harassing someone else and using, I don't know. I'd probably just ban someone if they were harassing, you know what I mean? But you can do all kinds of stuff like that, you guys. Cook to the E. Yeah, you know me. I said cook to the E. Oh my gosh, you guys. Oh boy. How Dusty is. You guys are so strong. Dog, you know what? There is no dog enclosure that can keep these guys contained. But guys, that was really fun getting to, battery power 15. Well, I guess that tells me it is time to wind everything down, but that was really fun reading the 1984. That was chapter 4 of 1984. And we got to see Funky Bones for a bit, go outside, see the sunset. I'm really happy to be back with a normal 8 o'clock live stream chat with my beloved giant Bunzerinos. I love each and every one of you guys. I am always so happy when every one of you shows up. It means so much to me. We've got our little friends group here. And yeah, thanks for showing up, guys. I hope each and every one of you has a beautiful rest of your evening. I hope you have a great day tomorrow. Captain Kira is going to be sore out of her little mind because I didn't dance all summer. I was a lazy bones. We got Funky Bones. We got Captain Kira, the lazy bones. But much love to Hewlin Mall. Hewlin Mod, my main man Mod, as I like to call him, and his Miss Lucy Goosey puppy dog. Mr. Wee's Banana, Mr. Wee's Banana. Crystal with a K, special K, much love to you. Who's left? AJ Punk, are you still here? Much love to you. AJ Punk, weren't you the one who was like, who was surprised that I was reading 1984? Was that you, AJ Punk? Because I know you are a writer, you are a novelist. So I'm curious to know what you thought of me reading 1984 on here. Much love to Kristen Cheyenne Star, Triple R, Kristen Cheyenne Star, Triple R Ranch Dressing. Much love to Mr. Woody Woodland Loops. Mr. Woody Woodland Loops, doo doo be doo doo. Mr. Woody Woodland Loops, doo 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 doo. Mr. Woody Woodland Loops, doo doo be doo doo be doo doo. A Woody Woodland Loops, he's such a goof. Yeah. Much love to Giant Bunz historian, Mr. Prestorian. All right. I think we got everyone. Look at this boy. We had a lot of people in the chat last night. I wish I would had a normal stream last night, guys. I'm sorry. But I'll have to remember, maybe Sunday nights are a really awesome night for everyone. You know, maybe there's not a lot going on. But Thank you, Crystal. Much love, everybody. Mr. Wee's Banananan and his 120-pound dog named Conan. Do you really? Your dog is 120 pounds and his name is Conan? Like Conan the Barbarian. Oh, that's so cute, Wes. Show us a picture sometime, please. Much love all. And I'll leave my phone on Mr. Bundonkadonk because he's doing some crunching and munching. He's being super cute. Gosh, hope my phone does not fall in the water bowl. That's risky. Should I do it? No. Wait, how about right there? Does that work? Yeah, just be cool. Be cool, donkey. Okay, guys, we're gonna pull this on.
Donkey the rabbit munching cookies all night. Sugar rush blazing a crazy delight. Nibbling faces in a frenzied haze. Friends confused in his cookie craze. He hops through chaos in the midnight dark. Cookies in his paws leaving a sweet mark. Face is bitten with a playful bite. Donkey's world, a funny sight. Donkey the rabbit, sugar in his veins. Nibble on your face, crunching all remains. Cookies crumble, falling to the floor. Donkey want more, can't ignore. Chasing shadows under the moon's bright glare. Cookies his obsession like he don't care. Friends watch in shock as he takes a bite. Donkey's love for cookies just feels right. He grins, mischievous eyes so wild. The chaos around him driving friends mild. Cookies drop, crumbs scatter in the bush. Donkey's cookie craze never will hush. Bite mark stories on furry cheeks. Donkey the rabbit at his cookie peak. Friends band together, a loving chase. Donkey's cookie craze never will hush. Ankle face, nibble pace. Donkey the rabbit, but sugar in his veins. Nibble on your face, nibble on your face. Cookies come, big bugger falling to the floor. Donkey want more, can't ignore. Plans ignore. Donkey want more, can't ignore.
Donkey, the cookie muncher. He's a rabbit that can't get enough. muncher. He can never get enough cookies. He never stops eating the cookie. He's a cookie cat. Donkey the rabbit, the cookie muncher. He can never get enough cookies. He never stops eating, 'cause he's a cookie cat. Donkey the rabbit, the cookie muncher. He can never get enough cookies. He never stops eating, 'cause he's a cookie cat. One, two, three, four.
In a kingdom far away, there's a princess named Kira, with beautiful brown locks and eyes that sparkle. Every day at twilight, she dances through the meadow with bunnies by her side as the sun starts to retire. One bunny turned to two, and two turned to a dozen.